Good day, students. Welcome to a new class of Digital Documentation, Unit 3 of your IT portion. In our last class in Digital Documentation, I explained to you the structure of a open office writer, the different features and how we can navigate across the document and how to select text and do some basic tasks. In today's class, we are going to learn the next part of digital documentation, that is called as formatting of the text. Now, formatting of text and paragraphs is a very important part of documentation. That means only writing the text in a document is not enough. We need to make the text and paragraphs look attractive and properly designed. So, formatting of text and paragraphs makes this happen. So, let us look at formatting in detail.
Formatting of text makes the text or the document look attractive in multiple ways. So let us now understand some of the formatting features which are available in OpenOffice Writer. The formatting options are, we can get it from the format menu, and under that we have got different ways, that is the character formatting, paragraph formatting, page formatting, change case, etc. All these are available to us under the format option. So anything which concerns with the look or the way the text is presented in a document, that all those features come under the format options. The first thing, formatting also can be done through the formatting toolbar. Some of the most commonly used formatting options are also available to us on the formatting toolbar. Many of you would be aware of it also. Still, we will just have a practice that for any formatting we need to first select the text. This is the font, the font size, the bold, italic and underline, that is Control B, Control I and Control U are the shortcut keys or the keyboard keys for doing this particular action. Here we also have the background color, that is the color of the text, and the font color. This is the formatting option. Now these very same formatting options will also be available to us under the format character option, and here we have got the font, again all the different types, bold, italic, underline, the font sizes, etc. Then the font effect, here we can have some certain effects like outline, shadow, blinking, etc., which is additional, some font effects. Then the background colors, we can get it from here in this particular way. So these are the font effects which we can do from this dialog box also. The font effects, the font color, and some outline effects can be done from here. So this is, or some background, if you want we can have a background color from here also. So this way we can get all our formatting of the text through this particular menu, that is either from the formatting toolbar or from the format character button. The next thing is understanding how to format a particular paragraph. So when I click on a paragraph, suppose this is a paragraph, you know that whenever we press an enter key after a full stop, then the next the line following it is considered as a paragraph. So this is one paragraph, this is the second, this is the third. So if I want to format particular paragraphs, I need to select the paragraph and click on format paragraph. Here I can select the indentation, that is how you want the indentation to be. So here if the preview of it is seen over here. So if I want let's take a 1.3 centimeter indentation or a first line indentation, that means the first line will have before text, after text, all these options, the spacings, all this can be done. See here, now this text has been indented inside by 1.3. that is the set we had done, that is indentation. That means moving your text slightly inside. So this can be a first line indent also, that means only the first line we can indent it, paragraph, and the first line indent will be, let's take a little more inside, maybe say 1 inch, a 1 inch of a first line indent. So the first line is indented by 1 inch inside of these 3 paragraphs. This is called as first line indentation. The next one is in the paragraph is line spacing. So before and after the paragraph, how much of lines you want, that means this is for above the paragraph and this is below the paragraph. So I am keeping this 40-40. So here there is before a particular paragraph also there is spacing, and after a particular paragraph we can do the spacings according to our wish. That is the paragraph spacing. Now we go on. So I'm just removing this spacings. I don't want any spacing. And here we have got line spacing. The next one is line spacing. Line spacing means the spacing in between the lines. That means if I want the entire, now this is by default it is a one line spacing. If I want, I'll click on paragraph and line spacing of 1.5 lines, double lines, etc. So if I select double line spacing, then this is called as double line spacing. So this way we can do the spacings for our paragraph. That is, we can do indentation, that the entire paragraph if you want to indent, or only the first line you want to indent. We can decide about the spacings in between the lines, in between the paragraphs above and below, and also we can set the line spacings from here. We can also select the alignment of text, that is left, right, center and justify. We know exactly left alignment means the entire text is aligned to the left hand side. This is the center alignment, whereby all the text is aligned in between the two margins. Right alignment, where all the text is aligned to the right, and the justify. Now what is the meaning of justify? Justify is that the spacing in between words are adjusted in such a way that the left and the right both together are aligned properly. So this is called as justification. Here both the left as well as the right alignment is ensured. Now this can be done also using the shortcut keys, that is Control plus L left align, Control plus E center align, Control plus R right align, and Control plus J justify. This can be done using the keyboard also. So these are some of the ways in which we can format a paragraph. We can also format a paragraph with and give borders to that paragraph. We can select borders from here and select the color of the border, and also give a background inside the bordering with the help of this option. This is the way in which we can format a particular paragraph.
The next formatting option is the change case option. Now in this case we can change the case of the, that is we can put a sentence as an uppercase, lowercase, uppercase, capitalize each word, or a toggle case. So if I select the text and I want to change this entire case into either uppercase completely, or I can change it to lowercase, that is complete small letters, or I can even make it sentence case. In case of sentence case, the first letter will be capital and up to the remaining sentence will be small letters. That is the sentence case. In a sentence, how the very first letter is capital and the rest is small, that is called as the sentence case. In case of the capitalize each word, then each word of the sentence, the first letter of every word of the sentence will be converted into capital letter. That is called as capitalize each word. And toggle case means it is the opposite of what is there right now. So format change case, toggle case means it will, the wherever there is capital it will get converted to small, and wherever it is small it gets converted into capital. So this is called as the toggle case. It is not much used. So these are the change case options which are available as a formatting option. Another formatting option is to convert our text into columns. So we can have columnar text in our, suppose the data that is there, if I want it in a particular column, I can convert it into 2 columns, 3 columns, or equal size columns according to my wish. We can also decide on the column width and spacing between the columns with this option. So here I have converted my text into 2 columns. If I do not want it, I can again go back to column and bring it as single column. I can make it from here also. I can evenly distribute the content among 3 columns. So this is the way we can do columnar text, that is formatting the columns according to it. If not, I can go back and click on OK. So this way, these are the formatting options for our text which we can do, that is character, paragraph, page. Now the next one is the page formatting. Now if I want to format a particular page, the entire formatting of a page can be done with this option. Now the first one is the height and the width of the page. We can set up margins. Already there is a 1 inch 2 centimeter margin. If I want to increase or decrease the margins from left, right, top or bottom, I can change it. Then also I can change the width of the page, the orientation, make it landscape or portrait. These are the 2 orientations. Portrait is where the height is more and the width is less, whereas landscape is a orientation in which we have got a width more and the height is less. So these are the 2 modes in which we can have our page layout. Along with that, we can set our margin areas also through the page style dialog box. Here we can also select on the page, the entire page. If I want it for a particular background color, I can do that, and I can also give my page borders according to my wish. So if I want any particular border, I can select that border and set it as the bordering of my page. So this way I can do some of these features which are available to me. I'm just undoing it. So my page settings can be also done from the format page option. Here all the different formatting options are available. The column bit also can be done from here, and all the other settings can be done through this. The next part of formatting is how we can present different types of lists in the form of bullets and numbering. So bullets and numbering are used when we want to uh, present a list or a series of data in a well properly with the help of bullets or properly numbered list. So that is bullets and numbering. So we'll go into that part. The next part of formatting is the bullets and numbering option. Now, if I want to give a list of text and I want to have a bullet or a numbering style for it, I can select the bullets and numbering from the format menu. Here I can select any of the available bullets, or I can also select any numbering that I want to from this menu. Format bullets and numbering. From the numbering type, I can select any of the numbering styles which I want to and press OK. So we can also do the bullet and numbering style from this particular option over here on the formatting toolbar. The bullet and numbering option is also available to you on the bullet and numbering toolbar. Now when it comes to having outline numbering, there is a method of doing it. What is the meaning of outline numbering? We will see in advance. Suppose I have got application software, and under this I want to write down in different bulleted points. Here I want to give this as a bulleted list. So I select this and I say format bullet and numbering, and this time I select outline numbering, and in this one I select. Now when I press enter and I press tab button, it will give me this option like this, Open Office. Now under this Open Office I have got writer and spreadsheet, and the next one is the presentation. So this way I can have a. Now if I do not want this, I want to get back into my first range, I will just use the decrease indent and come back to the second one. So here I can write system software, and below this if I want, I'll use the tab button, come to the next one, and then you can write Windows, Unix and Linux and Mac OS. So this way. Now under Mac OS, if you want to write something, then again I have to press the tab button and I can go. So this way I can give a bulleted list, which is an outlined bulleted list. So here in whichever category I want, the only thing you have to remember is that you need to first select the text and then click on bullet and numbering and the outlined bullet list like this. This is for a layered numbering list. If I want to in this particular manner, I can get it done. Simple bullets and numbering, and if I want to go back, then I can simply use the backspace button on the keyboard and I can bring it my cursor back to whichever level I want to put my numbering. So this is the difference between the normal bullets and numbering and a layered bullet and numbering. Now, when you have a book, or you must have noticed that when in a textbook, you have got certain text on the margin area of a textbook, which is on all the pages of the text it appears. Also, the page numbers or some certain text or the publisher's name which appears on all the part bottom margin of a particular book. In the same way, in a document also, if we want to add certain headers and footers into our margin area, then how to do it? We are going to look at it in detail. Headers and footers are text that you insert in the margin area of a document. In the top margin, the headers are placed on the top margin and the footers are placed in the bottom margin. Now these are the areas where you can write some text which appears on all the pages of a document. So whatever text you write in the header region will appear on all the pages. Suppose there are 20 pages or 100 pages, and all the 100 pages will have that particular text on top. So this is the use of the header. So generally headers are used to display chapter numbers or the book name or page numbers. All these details are generally given in the header region. So let us understand how to insert a header in this margin area. So if you want to set up the margin area, the page, if you want to set up the header region in, then you have to click on the format area and the header region, and there you can select the height of the, from this margin 0.5 is the header. So if you want, you can increase or decrease the header from and footer from this particular area, that is the page formatting of the page. Now once the header region has been set, then how to insert that particular header? You click on the insert menu, click on header and click on all. Now this header region, whatever we have displayed, will come up over here, and here you can write whatever text you want to. Let us take IT jobs, job fair. This is the name. I'm just giving a name like this, and I can do whatever formatting I want for this text. I can select it and bring it into the center and maybe increase the font size or whatever I want. I can put it over here. I can also insert date or any other information in my header region by clicking on the insert tab, and I can put a logo of a particular my firm or anything from the picture file. I can insert any other objects from this in my header region. So this is the header. Similarly, I can insert some text in the footer region also according to my choice. So this is the header. Same way, insert footer, and I will be able to insert the text in the footer region. So here in the footer, if I want to insert, let's take a text over here and write something, or you just have to, you just want to write some text over here, say page number or something like that, we can do it from the footer, in the footer region. So this footer and header will be available to you on all the pages of the document. See, every page of the document, the header that I have displayed will be there on the header and the footer of the text. So from here I can insert special characters also. I can insert anything inside my header and the footer region from this particular options available. I can insert any objects, or I can insert generally in the header regions you can insert the logo of the firm. So if I click on this and select this logo, I can insert this logo over here. Of course, this area I have not defined it, so it is very small, but I can make it as very small and insert this logo over here. So this logo now will be displayed on all the pages of the document. So this is what is called as the header and the footer in a document. To make a document look even more attractive, at times we can insert certain different types of images, pictures, objects into our document. So these objects can be an Excel chart or some particular type of graphics like emojis or call outs or some sort of text formatting text that can be put, or we can have different types of shapes, and also the generally if you want to insert some good pictures and images from the your files or from internet, that is also possible. So let us understand what are the different types of images and what are the different types of objects that we can insert into a document. In our footer region, if we want to insert a page number, then that is also very easy. We can just click on the insert and fields, and here we can click the page number and how many total pages are there. If you want to know out of that the total page count, so you can get that also over here. You can also insert let's take, if you want to insert the current date, today's date and today's time, something like that, all those fields can be inserted from this particular region. Now if I want to insert, suppose in my header region I want to also insert the author, that is I am the author of this particular document, so whoever's name the it is registered, then that will come over here in the header region, the author. So these are the different fields which we can insert into a document. Other than the fields and in the header and footer region, we can also insert certain objects into our document. That means we can insert pictures from any file. We can insert pictures into our document. I click on any, suppose I've got some pictures which are ready there. If I want to insert this picture, I can click on insert picture from the list. The only thing I need to remember is that I need to understand which location I have saved the image or the picture. I can also from my drawing toolbar insert certain drawings like clip this smileys or images or some call outs. The normal this is the drawing toolbar. From this drawing toolbar I can insert a lot of font gallery. The font gallery is almost like your clip art in Word. So whichever type of I want, I can insert different types of word arts in my document. This is the with the help of this I can insert shapes and I can insert call outs, text, etc. And free form flow drawings I can do from all this type of objects I can insert into my document. I can also insert, see here the free font which we had written over here, it is too big. I'll just reduce the size. Yeah, this way I can do any sort of formatting and write any objects from this toolbar. This is the drawing toolbar. From here I can take from different files also, and I can write the text, some different type of text which I want in a box or something. I can just select that and write some text over here. So these are the objects. Along with this I can also insert objects like a formula or charts. If I want to insert a chart into my this document, then I can click on the chart option. I can insert formulas in my document. If I am making a science paper or a maths paper, I can insert different types of formulas inside my document with the help of this. Here also I can write down the formulas and insert it. So this way I can do insertion of different types of objects into my document. So in this particular chapter we have learned quite a lot of different types of formatting of our document with the different characters, page formattings, bullets and numbering, change cases, columns, and also the insert menu, the header and footer, and inserting different types of objects into our OpenOffice Writer. So with this we end this particular chapter on formatting and inserting of certain objects and images into our document. I hope you have understood it. If you are able to have access to OpenOffice Writer and downloaded the software, then please try to practice all these different types of formatting options and inserting of different objects into this document. Please try and practice it. It would be very useful to you in the long run. Thank you.